The Remote Gambling Association, RGA, is an international trade association representing most of the world's largest licensed and stock market-listed remote gambling companies. It is also the largest representative organization of the sector in Europe. The RGA is committed to promoting a well-regulated industry that provides a secure environment in which consumers can enjoy their gambling and where appropriate safeguards are in place. Its members are licensed for gambling purposes in Europe and elsewhere. In addition to any local regulatory requirements, they are required to comply with the RGA Code of Conduct on Social Responsibility. Underage gambling is an infrequent occurrence, but the RGA members take extensive measures to ensure proper and reliable age verification. RGA members have adopted rigorous age verification (AV) procedures in order to prevent under-18s from being able to gamble. The RGA will continue to work with other bodies to acquire additional reliable date of birth information in order to make age verification procedures even more effective. In addition to the core age verification checks conducted by gambling operators, the RGA encourages a series of measures to avoid underage remote gambling, such as informing people of and providing a link to reputable filtering services like the Internet Content Rating Association, ICRA, so that parents and others can take any necessary steps to prevent their personal computers being used for inappropriate purposes. Making it clear through messaging or the display of a No Under 18 sign on the homepage of the internet site that under 18s are not permitted to gamble. However, potential underage gamblers might decide to ignore these warnings. The risk of underage gambling is limited by the fact that the majority of online payment methods are only available to over 18s. However, under 18s do have access to some forms of payment that can be used to fund remote gambling, and because of that, additional checks are carried out when appropriate, where accounts are opened using methods such as debit and prepay cards. Age verification must include an element of objective validation provided by companies like GB Group, Experian, or 192.com, who provide credit reference services and who specialize in the application of a wide range of services, many of which have been developed with a specific focus on age verification at the request of online gambling companies. In addition, companies have the option of requesting valid documentation, for example a passport or birth certificate, from the customers themselves. If at any time the RGA member becomes aware that a customer is underage, the customer account shall be suspended immediately. The RGA member will void all wagers that it is party to, refund the deposits and close the account. In order to prevent and combat problem gambling, there are a range of measures that operators can take to help their customers. These include a social responsibility page or section with warning messages, advice on responsible gambling, and sources of help on problem gambling, as well as links to the other available player protection tools. Links should be readily available from the site to both the player protection and responsible gambling pages. The provision of a self-exclusion facility for any customer who wishes to exclude him or herself from gambling at the operator's website. During the chosen period, which must be a minimum of 6 months, the customer will also not receive any promotional material from the operator. Provision of a self-assessment test or a link to one, such as that on the GamCare website, to help customers gauge whether or not they are developing a problem. Easy and obvious methods on the site for customers to submit complaints or queries. The current time, where displayed on the customer's computer, will help customers monitor the time spent gambling. Gambling is a mainstream leisure activity for adults. For the vast majority of customers, it is a safe, harmless and fun pursuit, and the industry's objective is to ensure that remains the case. Although no procedures can ever be foolproof, RGA members work with their customers to help them ensure that their gambling does not become a problem, and that, if they fear it might be, there is information available for them about sources of support and advice. The RGA will continue to work with all interested parties so that its members can be kept fully informed of any new practices or procedures that might be useful in combating problem gambling, helping problem gamblers, and preventing under 18s from gambling. Promoting a responsible gambling environment is in the best interest of every stakeholder. To further this goal, RGA members are committed to using best practices and state-of-the-art technologies. Looking forward, policymakers and others should look for ways in which to reinforce these procedures and help to promote a fair, safe and fun activity for responsible adults.